So again, you can sit cross-legged, you can sit on your knees, you can sit with your legs out front, just whatever feels good here. And again, we're just going to take a few moments as always to rise. So again, we just shift our awareness inwards, a couple of deep breaths. And then we're just going to begin by relaxing the arms down by the sides. Now we're going to start by bringing our left arm up. We're going to inhale and we're going to exhale, take our left arm up and over. So we just kind of walk our right hand a little bit more towards the right side. Again, we're going to press our left sit bone down towards the floor. So again, we get that good side stretch here. Again, we can relax the right ear towards the right shoulder. And then again, as always, we have a little play around here. So again, if we gently bring the arm a little bit in front, a little bit over the ear, and then again, a little bit behind the ear. And then again, we can come back to center. We can again swap sides and bring that left hand down towards the floor, bring our right arm up and over. We can walk our right hand a little bit more towards the right side. Gently reach that right arm up and over. Press our right sit bone towards the floor. Relax our kind of left ear towards the left shoulder. And that little side stretch. Again, have a little play around. Again, bring the arm a little bit in front. A little bit over, even a little bit behind. And then again, we can come back to center. And then we're just going to bring our arms back out to shoulder level now. We're going to come into a little twist. So again, we're just going to start by kind of twisting towards our right side. So we're going to bring left hand towards our kind of right knee or towards our right hip. Take that right arm around towards the left. Press the hands into the body and again gently twist a little bit towards that right side. So the gaze over the back shoulder. And then again we can come back, center. We can again just gently twist towards the opposite side. So again, we bring that right hand towards left knee or left hip. Bring that left hand around towards the right. Press the hands into the body, so the gaze over the back shoulder. And then again, we can come back to center. And then now we're going to come into eagle arms, which again, I absolutely love, some of my favourite stretches. So again, this is where we bring our arms out shoulder level and we're just going to give ourselves that big hug. So if we just take our left arm over, right arm under, we kind of grab hold of our shoulders here. So we're just going to give ourselves that big hug. We can, again, just maybe hold on to the shoulders. So you might even kind of wrap your fingertips around the edges of your shoulder blades. Again, just slightly kind of hunch in a little bit here. So again, we're just trying to stretch a little bit into the neck muscles here. So if we just tuck the chin in, pull those shoulder blades away. And then again, we can lift back up. And then again, we can stay here in this position. We can gently lift back up. We're going to keep the elbows crossed if that feels okay. And we're going to try and come in towards eagle arms. So again, this is really dependent on how your shoulders are built. So for some of you, you might comfortably bring your back and hands together. Some of you might bring palms together. Some of you, you might just kind of bring your hands towards each other, keeping the elbows crossed if you can, but just gently as if you're kind of the back of the hands kind of magnetized towards each other. Just so you feel that pull between the shoulder blades. Or again, you can sometimes use a band here as well. That feels better. And then again, all we're going to do here is we're going to slightly lift the arms, and then we're just going to tug the arms forwards. And again, we're just going to tuck the chin in a little here. And again, we can slightly tuck those arms a little bit more over towards our right side, just seeing how that feels around that left shoulder. We might want to lift our head a little bit when we do that. It might feel okay to keep head tucked in a little. And then again, we come back to center. And then again, we can just gently this time. So again, a couple of different variations. So to begin with, just kind of gently bringing your arms to about shoulder level. Again, just pulling the arms forwards. And then if it feels okay, just start to lower your forearms a little. I find this, especially when doing lots of climbing, which I have been, really strong stretch between the shoulders. And then again, we can play around here. So again, you might find it feels good to lift up. You might find you feel good to kind of lift up, come into a little back bend, and then fold forwards. Or sometimes what I like to do when I fold forwards is come right down and bring those forearms onto the floor. And sometimes even, so like we did where we kind of stretch a little bit more around the left shoulder, if you bring your forearms onto the floor, but maybe you can kind of hook your kind of elbows kind of over your right kind of knee or towards the outside of your right knee, so you can get that little bit extra stretch around the left shoulder there. And then again, we can slowly come back up. We can release those hands, give them a bit of a shook. And then we're going to do all that on the opposite side. So again, we're going to gently bring those hands out shoulder level. This time again, we take right arm over, left arm under. We catch hold of the shoulder blades. We again just pull the shoulders away from each other. We tuck our chin in. And then again, we can lift the hands. We can again come into eagle arms. Again, we bring back the hands towards each other, palms towards each other. We use a band, or again, just keeping the elbows crossed as if you're just trying to kind of magnetize, or the hands are magnetized towards each other. And then again, we can just gently lift the arms a little bit here. So again, the arms are a little bit in line with the shoulders. And again, just tuck the arms forwards, lift them up a little bit, tuck the chin in. And then again, we can release. We can now just tuck those arms a little bit more over towards our left side. See how that feels around the right shoulder. And then again, come back to center. And then again, this time, play around a little bit with lowering forward. And lift up. And then finally, again, how does it feel to play around to kind of lift those arms a little bit, a little bit of a back bend. And then again, you can just hang out here. You can again round in a little bit. That feels good. It's almost like a little bit like cat-cow. Or again, you can lift your arms, I'll show you from this direction. And then again, you can either come forwards, just bring the forearms onto the floor, Or again, kind of hook your kind of elbows round the opposite knee. So kind of hook your kind of elbows around that left knee. And then we're just going to release. Just go gently keep those down, a bit of a stretch out. And actually, I'm not going to do the ones with the band today. I'm going to chuck them into a different shoulder. There's so many shoulder ones I could do. So the last couple of shoulder ones I'm going to do here, and open through the stretch through the back of the shoulders, is now we're just going to come back down onto kind of all fours here. And then we're going to come onto our forearms. But we're going to do that one where we flip the forearms to face towards the ceiling. And then again, we're just going to really try and bring the kind of the top of the wrist towards the floor. We're going to really spread the fingertips out. We're going to bring our little fingernail towards the floor. And then really spreading the palms, trying to bring your thumbnail towards the floor. And then if it feels okay, kind of press it between your shoulder blades, like you're trying to create a little crunch back. And then pull back a little bit with the bum and the hips whilst dropping the head down. You just really feel that pull across the shoulder blades, down the arms. And then again, we can just release. And then we're going to turn back down and come back up here, come back up here onto all fours. And now we're going to finish off with another little shoulder and side stretch here. So this is that one where we're going to get our right elbow and we're going to drop it onto the floor, so it's underneath the right shoulder. Right hand is underneath the left shoulder. We're going to stretch that left arm out towards the top of the mat. And then we're just going to drop our forehead down onto that right forearm, onto the floor above or below. We have our bum in line with the hips maybe, or a little bit further forward or back. We can have toes tucked under, feet flat on the floor. But we just inch those left fingertips as far forward as we can. So we start to get that real good stretch down the left arm. We again just allow the chest to sink towards the floor here. And press into those fingertips. Keep the palms wide, fingers really stretched. So you're really pressing towards your little finger and ring finger. And then again, keep pressing those fingertips towards the floor. Can we kind of drop our left forearm a little bit more towards the floor? And as we do that, turn our head to the right and just see how that feels around that left shoulder area. And then finally, keep pressing into those fingertips. Lift that forearm back off the floor, but this time pull back a little bit with the bum and the hips. And maybe just pull back, that might feel good. Or again, maybe have that little sway from side to side with the bum. And then we can slowly bring that left hand back in. Come back up here onto all fours. We're going to do all that on the opposite side. So again, we bring our left elbow underneath the left shoulder, left hand underneath the front of the right shoulder. We take our right arm out towards the front of the mat. We press into those fingertips. We drop our forehead onto that left forearm. Again, we just relax here into it. So we feel that stretch down that kind of right arm towards the right shoulder. And again, we just keep pressing those fingertips into the floor, especially towards our little finger and ring finger. And then again, we can play around. So again, if you lower the forearm towards the floor, turn the head to the left. And then finally, just bring that, lift that forearm back off the floor. Keep pressing into the fingertips. And this time, just pull back with the bum and the hips. Or again, just have that little sway from side to side with the bum. And then we can just slowly pull back. Just come into any little child resting position here. And then we can just slowly lift back up. And then the last couple of ones we're going to do here, we're just going to come on to our backs. And we're going to work a little bit here with a block. So just coming down onto your back. And we're going to do that one where we grab our block. And we're just going to have our block, so it's on its slightly taller end. If you don't have a block, a hardback book will do, but again, just be careful with the hardback book. And again, just kind of bringing that block up in front of you here. And again, just kind of shifting our awareness again back to the shoulders. So again, back the shoulders press into the floor. Ribs sink in, belly sinks in, lower back is nice and soft. Again, it helps to have the feet on the floor sometimes so your pelvis is in a little bit more neutral. If you stretch your legs out, you get quite a nice abdominal stretch. But again, just try and make sure you keep your kind of lower back soft if you have the legs stretched out. And again, just shoulder blades tucked down. And then again, we're just going to play around here. So again, we're going to inhale. As we exhale, we try and keep the kind of the ribs tucked in, the belly nice and soft. As we bring that block up over the head, onto the floor above the head. And then again, we come back up. And again, a couple more rounds. Again, we're just isolating the movement, just trying to bring the movement from the shoulders rather than lifting up through the whole chest. And again, last one. We're just going to take that block up over the head, keeping the ribs tucked in, belly soft, lower back soft. This time we're going to relax here for a few breaths. So again, we might slightly tilt the block. So again, the kind of top edge of the block presses into the floor. We're just going to soften the elbows a little bit, take some of the strain out the shoulders. We're going to tuck the chin in a little bit here. We're just going to again allow the lower back, allow the belly to soften. And the ribs to sink in. And then again, just really kind of relax those shoulder blades down into the floor. And then again, we can bring that block back up. This time we can take that block so it's on its slightly wider side. Again, hands either side of the block, and shoulder blades pressing into the block. And again, a couple of breaths. So again, we inhale, exhale again, keeping the ribs tucked in, belly soft, lower back soft. Again, you can play around and straighten the legs, see how that feels. You can keep your lower back soft, the belly soft. And again, a couple more rounds. And then again, we can just relax here for a few breaths. So again, we can slightly tilt the block. We can again just soften or bend the elbows a little bit, allow those shoulder blades to sink into the floor, tuck the chin in, and those ribs to sink in. And then we can slowly bring the block back up. And then to finish off, if you want to do a little bit of neck work here, you can have your block and you can use your block like a kind of massage tool. So you're going to have your block and you're going to have it so it's on its slightly taller end and narrowest end. And then we're going to bring the block so it's underneath the back of this, kind of below that big bump at the back of the skull. And then we just use the ridges of the block here to kind of massage the neck. And if you've got a cough block, go gently because they're pretty intense. And again, if you've got a real kind of tight, tender spot, you're just going to hang out there for a few breaths and just breathe into it. And then again, we can just come back, center. We can again just relax here for a few breaths. Again, we're just going to come into any comfortable Shavasana position. Relax the arms and the legs out to the sides. Again, just become aware of the parts of the body that press into the floor. Breathing into those parts. And again, as we exhale, we just allow the body to become nice and heavy. Nice and relaxed. Just allow the weight of the body to just sink down into the floor. And again, we can just breathe from the top of the head right down into the fingers, the toes. And again, as we exhale, just allowing the weight of the body to just sink down into the floor. And just letting everything relax, release, and soften. Thank you very much.